The U.S. drug trafficking case brought into sharp focus his reputation for using ruthless acts of violence to strike fear into both foes and allies. Prosecutors in federal court in Manhattan had used the often gruesome testimony of an admitted member of Coke's drug gang to push for a stiff sentence. Most startling was his account of how Coke ordered his men to kill a deadbeat drug dealer nicknamed Tall Man by tying him up and dismembering him with a chainsaw. The witness, Jermaine Cohen, described entering a room routinely used as Coke's personal torture chamber to find human remains, lots of blood and hands and foots cut off and a head cut off. From his home base in Jamaica, Christopher Coke presided over an international drug and weapons trafficking organization. Defense lawyers had labeled Mr. Cohen and other witnesses as frauds willing to frame Coke in a bid for leniency in their own criminal cases. Private investigators dispatched to Jamaica found no evidence that the Tall Man slaying or other purported atrocities ever happened, said one of his lawyers. Coke sought to convince U.S. District Judge Robert Patterson that he deserved a break because of his charity work in the West Jamaican slum of Tivoli Gardens. In a letter to the judge, he took credit for throwing Easter parties for seniors, passing out school supplies and Christmas gifts to children, and starting a school to teach computer skills to the disadvantaged. But Judge Patterson told Coke that the allegations of violence offset any good deeds and imposed the 23-year prison term sought by prosecutors. The head prosecutor for Manhattan, U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara, said that Coke's crime empire had finally crumbled. From his home base in Jamaica, Christopher Coke presided over an international drug and weapons trafficking organization that he controlled through violence and intimidation for nearly 2 decades, enlisting an army of soldiers to do his bidding, he said in a statement. Coke, 43, was arrested in Jamaica and extradited in 2010 following a bloody siege in Tivoli Gardens, which had become what U.S. authorities describe as a garrison community he used to oversee an international drug trafficking ring. More than 70 people died in the month-long siege before Coke surrendered. Coke had followed in the footsteps of his father, Lester Lloyd Coke, better known as Jim Brown, a leader of the notorious Shower Posse during the 1980s cocaine wars. Authorities say Judas Coke took over the organization when his father, also sought in the United States, died in a mysterious fire in a Jamaican prison cell in 1992. The Shower Posse was said to have cocaine trafficking interests in Canada, the US, and Britain. The group was alleged to have supplied weapons and controlled other drug gangs operating throughout the Greater Toronto area. In May 2010, following a series of gang raids in Ontario, Toronto police said the Shower Posse was allegedly responsible for a significant part of the city's drug trade, and that its influence stretched as far north as Sault Ste. Marie, sweeping from Windsor in the west to Ottawa in the east.